Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Okay, so if everybody stands up, this is the last time we're going to do this song for a while. And I know it's been recent, but we'll just do it again. Okay. I am new today. It's in your bulletin. Okay. So let's stand up and do this one. I'll do a different arrangement today. I am new today. I am new this moment, and I thank you, God, for everything behind me. I am new today. I am new today. Second verse. I am new today. I am new this moment, and I thank you, God, for everything before me. I am new today. I am new today. I am new today. I am new this moment, and I thank you, God, for everything within me. I thank you, God, for everything around me. I thank you, God, for everything before me. I thank you, God, for everything behind me. I am new today. I am new today. Very nice.
Well done. Nice, nice. And real bulletins. Real bulletins. For weeks we've had real bulletins. Yep, it's nice to have something. Yeah, it's like a security blanket to have something in your hands. Just go, oh, I've got something in my hands. And then if you have a spontaneous thought, there's always room to write something on your new bulletin today. Good morning and welcome. We have a crowd. I'm so excited to see you. It is like a crowd. You look around. Last week, everybody was on this side of the room. They made a very serious and heartful decision that having one or two people on this side of the room just really didn't make it. Everybody moved over to this side of the room. It was convenient for me because I only had to look at one side of the room and glance occasionally at the camera. But this morning, this is way better than that. So we welcome you in the warm and loving spirit of unity. Whether you're visiting us online from wherever you might be, whatever day of the week it might be, whatever it is that has brought you to us this Sunday morning, we're so grateful for your presence and for your continued presence over the course of these years now that we've been broadcasting so that we can communicate with people near and far. So for those of you who watch on Sunday mornings, occasionally just put your name in the chat, just even a first name. It shows us how many people are tuning in and watching. sometimes it shows that we've got maybe 3 people online or 10, but in fact we know that other people are watching, and we love that feedback to know that it's going somewhere and people are receiving it. And feedback is always welcome. info@unitysv.org. If there's a particular topic you'd like to have covered, if there's something that you'd like us to speak to, if you have a question, if you have a prayer request, the contact point is info@unitysv.org. And we're happy to take any requests. This morning, just push the little chat button and it will plug you into what's going on. So we're grateful for our team on Sunday mornings. Ellen and Jerry is in his rightful place. He's back from Girl Scout camp. He assures me that he didn't win a single medal for his participation. If that stirs any curiosity for you, ask him after the service what he was doing at Girl Scout camp. Ward, always, thank you. To whoever our greeting team was this morning, thank you. And we're grateful for that support. I put out a request last week, and on Sunday mornings, it's not every Sunday morning, but we really do request your assistance in the front entry for greeting. And in the kitchen, we're in need of another helper. Lots of volunteer opportunities for you. Contact us if you'd like to be a member of the prayer team, near or far. Lots of opportunities. So here in the room on Sunday morning, we have the prayer box waiting for your prayer requests. Prayer team loves to pray with you, loves to receive your requests. It gives them lots of work to do. And there were quite a number of prayer requests this week, I noticed. So fill out a prayer request slip, put it in the box. If you have not updated your contact information, we would love to have that, because the directory is coming along, nearing completion, and we would really like to have accurate information for everyone. So even if you said, I've got the same thing I've always had, just go ahead and update it on a sheet of paper, which are over there somewhere. Heather will be happy to show you where they are. Dee will show you where they are. Somebody will show you where they are. Just ask. I need to update my contact information. On Sunday mornings, when we say to you, we welcome you in the warm and loving spirit of unity. It's true. This church has been here for, Jerry, what's your most recent guess of how many years? 14? 25 years? 21? 20? Okay, so at least that long and more. 22 years, can you imagine? And sustained and blessed, offering that very same warm, welcome spirit. We welcome you in the warm and loving spirit of unity, we say. And down and in and up through all the changes that have gone on in this ministry. Many of you are newer, but many of you have been here far longer than I have, which is coming on 10 years right away. What I want to say to you is it's because of you that this church exists. Because of your energy, because of your dedication, because of your ongoing, continuous belief that this message transforms and is transforming and always transforms your life. This unity message, this deep living of what Charles Fillmore called practical Christianity. He said if you can't use it in a practical way in your life, what good is it? And so the dedication of unity has always been to teach ideas in a practical way, in a relevant way, based on spiritual universal truths that are present today as they have always been. Not just out there, but in here. Not just up there, but within our being as the very substance and presence of life itself. And so when we say we greet you in the warm and loving spirit of unity, we've had a lot of hands and a lot of hugs and a lot of coffee we've shared, and a lot of things have happened on this journey. And now we're resurrecting out of a time that I would call tomb time. But it didn't stop the activity of the ministry. It just simply changed the way we were doing and offering what we could in a more challenging time. So thank you for always believing in this ministry. For those of you who've been here 21 years or 25 or however many it's been, we're so grateful for your presence every single Sunday morning. Not only do you bring light to this ministry, you bring light to the world through your dedication and practice of these ideas. So we bless you, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you. What is it we say to the kids? Just the way you are. I love that. You have the daily word, Valerie, for us. Things. We have need of things. Did I leave you room? Oh, look.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or evening. Good morning, thank you, or good afternoon or evening, if you're watching later. I'm honored to read the Daily Word today. I will preface this by saying there's a couple of really long sentences. I've practiced, and I'll do the best I can.
That's all it takes.
The love in my heart is my comfort. If the sadness of loss diminishes my joy as I think of happy experiences with the loved ones who are no longer with me, I remember that the love we shared will bind us together always. Love can never die. Love, the most beautiful attribute of God, is present always and everywhere. I'm comforted as my heart opens to the divine love within me, knowing that this same love enfolds all of those I hold dear, no matter where they are on the eternal journey of life. Peace and strength grow in my awareness as I open myself to love's expression. I bless everyone who comes to mind today with a loving thought. I speak a loving word or perform a simple act of kindness whenever I can. As I bring comfort to others, I am comforted also. Let your steadfast love become my comfort according to your promise to your servant. Psalm 119, line 76. Oh. So I passed the audition?
Yeah.
Quick announcement. I'll try to make it quick. There's a potluck after the service. Please stay and share wonderful abundance of food and friendship. We have a new kitchen crew captained by Gail Marple and many wonderful volunteers. Slightly different setup. So we've got the food as usual. We'll be using paper plates that are not coated with plastic, so they're compostable. Yeah, I'm excited. At the end of the line, just past the all-important desserts, there's a tray for your cups. When you're done with your coffee cup, please set it on the tray. After that, on a little table next to that counter, a soapy tray of water for the flatware, the forks, etc. And beyond that, formerly the garbage can, now the compost place. So there's a couple of signs that tell you what you can put in. Paper plates, napkins, and food scraps. I take them home and I put them in my yard waste bin. I live in town, and that's a service that they provide. And food scraps and paper with food on it, paper products, so pizza boxes, paper plates, as long as they're not coated with plastic, it can all go in there. And to me, this is part of unity, part of recognizing our unity. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
So, thank you all, and
Do you want bulletins in that same bin?
do I want?
Bulletins in the same
I'm
compost
so
bin?
glad you asked
I
that.
know.
You must be reading over my shoulder because at the
did,
line that I
yeah.
forgot. So, bulletins, aluminum cans, things that are recyclable, go under the kitchen sink. There's a big bin. There's a sign. Paper, absolutely. Paper, aluminum cans. I did find some aluminum cans and some bulletins as I was clearing out that can for compost. So there's different places for different things. And thank you in advance for using. And Gail, you've got your hand raised.
Well, I'm going to bring the recyclable bin just after this or out so people can get to it. Thank you.
There you go.
During the week under the sink, but I will bring it out and put it here so everyone can get to it without coming in.
Thank you, thank you,
That's
thank you.
wonderful. So Gail, you're making it easy for us. So recyclable bin will be in front of the sink. You don't have to dig around for it.
You'll find it. It's in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, it will be out here.
Okay, we're
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. People with a great consciousness for caring, loving, caring, and things that indicate that we're on track, honoring practices that are good practices. Yes, ma'am. Carol, did you do the flowers? Louise? Carol did them from the greenhouse? You know, I saw some growing outside my doorway in Hawaii last week. I thought maybe you'd. Carol, thank you. Chuck, thank you for the beauty of those. Thank you, Lynn, for asking. See, you people who are online, you should be here on Sunday. We're doing fun and interesting things that matter. I have a couple of announcements for you. Let's start with good news first. On Saturday, June 18th at 1 o'clock at Center for Spiritual Living here in Mount Vernon, they will be celebrating their 40th anniversary, which is an amazing thing. But the big event that day is Reverend Maggie's ordination. Yeah, so it was scheduled for last year. It couldn't happen and postponed until that Saturday, the 18th. Everyone is welcome at 1 o'clock on that day. I was asked to participate, but I'll be in transit at Unity Village that day, and I'm really sorry that I can't be there to celebrate her. And CSL, anything that exists for 40 years, including each of us, is like a miracle every day. Myrtle Fillmore Award Party at Unity in Linwood. I was asked last week about what the date would be for the party that Linwood is giving for us in recognition of the award that I'm receiving on the 14th of June. And the date chosen is July 16. It's a Saturday at 6 p.m. Music, a party, a lovely party. And I'm really grateful that we're invited. We'll work out, what do you call it when you, yeah, carpool. Carpool. We'll work out some carpools and make it easy for people to attend. What I need, however, is that Unity and Linwood would receive our email list because they're going to send out evites. And so we need an 6 o'clock. Yeah, in between. Yes, Beth? That was the question. All right, here's the not as good news, and we would wish that it were not so. There are significantly more COVID cases, certainly in people above the age of 65, but it even happened in my own family, and they are not 65, I can tell you that. And anyway, it's on the rise again. And if you are a masker, we encourage you to mask and practice all the sanitary kinds of things that you did before. Do it again if you feel called to do that. It would be what it would be. We have masks available for you should you need them. That means when we're singing, it's not my favorite thing for you or me, but a mask would be a good thing. Thanks. And when you eat, I invite you to take your mask off. And I haven't figured that one out yet, and although on the airplane the other day, I think I tried to do it that way, but I wasn't successful. Sanitize your hands, please. So that's what I have. Jerry, you have anything? Okay, we're good then. Yeah. Big things have been going on. Yes, ma'am.
Have we heard anything about the meeting that the area had?
The community meeting.
Community meeting?
Well, Jerry, maybe you could talk about the community meeting during the potluck today. Could you do that? Okay, thanks. That'd be good. Otherwise, you're going to have lunch at 3, and that doesn't work. Nice to see the Shotwells here. Nice to see Margot here. Nice to see our friends we haven't seen for a while. We think of you when you're not here. I'm going to take a deep breath now because I think it's time for that, right?
I'd like to add that the pronouns for this song are I, you, and we. In that order.
I love that. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure how to interpret all that stuff, but
that's the new
thing.
That's a new derivation of.
Everybody at the grocery store has their pronouns on their name tags.
If you don't know what that means, I don't. Well, just think about it and tell each other. Sky, since you're here, you can probably explain it after the service to people who are curious. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it takes someone a little younger. Yeah, your pronouns. It's like me. That's the one I like. I, me. Yeah, it gets confusing. Snap out of it, Linda. It's his fault. You ready?
Yeah.
I am a blessing to the world.
I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart. big breath on this one. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world.
Blessing to Oh, yeah. Think about it. I am the heart. I am the hands. I am the voice of Spirit on earth. And who I am, and all I do, is a blessing to the world. Allow yourself to be consciously present to the spirit of you, the truth of you, the life of you, the livingness of you. Spirit, the light of you, the limitlessness of you. And we expand our thought. Spirit, you are the heart. You are the hands. You are the clear, unfailing light. You are the everywhere present wisdom. And the order, an order we don't always understand, can't comprehend, but is somehow nonetheless present. As I open myself, the part of myself that I get lost in, the mind, the thought world of confusion and condition. I open that world within me and allow myself through that opening to witness the power of your presence at work within and around and throughout my life. I remember I put myself back together in the awareness of your presence. As I fly in all directions, and the tendency is to forget. In this moment, I remember allowing myself to be woven together once again in harmony with Spirit. How do I pray when my heart is troubled or when I'm afraid? I pray by remembering and opening and allowing the spirit of my being to renew and restore me, that my faith might be made strong, that my heart might be renewed, that my trust for life might be leading and guiding my actions, my words, my thoughts. I trust. I trust in the perfection of a universe that I do not understand. I trust in an order that is present and sometimes so invisible that I can't see beyond the clouds, and yet still present is that faith, that trust, that renewal of the mind and the heart. When it seems that the mountains are too high and that it's just one mountain after another, I remember that my feet are the feet of Spirit moving on the journey that has no end but has the promise of good in every part of the climb. And when I come to the top, I see it's not one mountain after another, one obstacle after another, one challenge, one something after another. I see that there's an opening and a spaciousness, and that each step has brought me more and more and more of an opportunity to feel the love and the safety of my divine home. I do not walk alone. You do not walk alone. People whose hearts are broken and are suffering this day do not walk alone. For the power of the living Christ is present in each one as they meet the obstacles and live through a time that is unfathomable and yet filled with Spirit. I pray for my loved ones who have gone before, ancestors, inspirations, family, friends. And I know that each one is living even now that perfection of universal unfolding, and that in fact there was no end, but merely a continuation of the perfection of that spirit and soul. And so for those who have gone before us, we offer our light and our blessings and our love. We lift them as they come to mind, acknowledging their oneness with all of life. With love in our hearts and gratitude for the power at work within us and through us even now, and for those we've known and loved. We offer deepest gratitude and blessing. And so it is. Amen.
Decided to play my guitar today because it hasn't been getting much use. It's been hanging on a hook in my office, and you got to remember to turn. There we go. I want to say two things. One is that I want to thank Catherine Kelly for bringing our next special music person next week, Ireland Woods. I think you're going to really like her. I know you will. And thanks, Catherine. And this has been a really confusing time. As we know, nothing makes sense. And this is a song that I go to by Cortana when I'm feeling like that. Life is a pretty great place to be if you don't mind mystery, and you can keep an open mind and dance when the coals are burning hot. Forget about them when they're not, and just move with the energy, and revel in the sunshine when it's on your face, and put a layer on when winter takes its place. 'Cause love is a very sweet place to be if you don't mind company and a little bit of pain sometimes. For we are connected at the source, and life will take its course and bring us into unity. I feel a family growing based on love and trust. We're such a flock of angels watching over us, that I feel a hope I've never felt, that the hardest rocks will melt and a new landscape will come in view. For earth, when in love and light and grace we begin to take our place, and each do what we came to do. It doesn't have to be the way it's always been. We can break the patterns now, and then we'll start again. In love, a very sweet place to be if you don't mind harmony, if you can keep an open heart and dance when the coals are burning hot, and forget about them when they're not, and just move with the energy of life. La 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 life. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yay. Nice job. I like that song. I like all these songs today, Ward. I do. They're all among my favorites. Huh?
I was going to surprise
Thank I don't know whether to be happy or maybe not today. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Peggy, we'll do it then. Yeah, absolutely. We haven't done it for quite some time, and if you've never heard it, hi Valerie. It's a real song. It's yeah. Plastic Jesus is a real song. I start with this. It's familiar. What is real? Asked the rabbit one day when they were lying side by side near the nursery vendor before Nana came in to tidy the room. Does it mean having things that buzz inside you and a stick-out handle? Real isn't how you're made, said the skin horse. It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real. Does it hurt? Asked the rabbit. Sometimes, said the skin horse, for he was always truthful. When you are real, you don't mind being hurt. Does it happen all at once, like being wound up, he asked, or bit by bit? It doesn't happen all at once, said the skin horse. You become. It takes a long time, and that's why it doesn't often happen to people who break easily or have sharp edges or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all because once you're real, you can't be ugly except to people who don't understand. I suppose you are real, said the rabbit, and then he wished he'd not said it, for he thought the skin horse might be sensitive. But the skin horse only smiled. The boy's uncle made me real, he said. That was a great many years ago, but once you're real, you can't become unreal again. It lasts for always. The rabbit sighed. He thought it would be a long time before this magic called real happened to him. He longed to become real, to know what it felt like, and yet the idea of growing shabby and losing his eyes and whiskers was rather sad. He wished that he could become it without all these uncomfortable things happening to him. I wish I could become, quote unquote, all that I'm meant to be without it being so uncomfortable at times. But all the love has been present all along in those times when our eyes are dropping out and all the things that we experienced hadn't happened. We believed that we could grow and become more just by being here and going on about our business, but periodically we discover that it's through those becoming real moments that we find the depth and the height and the quality and the possibility that is the reality of our beingness. And without those times and experiences that hurt and are uncomfortable, and more than uncomfortable often, We couldn't be the unveiled, stripped down version of our own fullness of being. Why? Because we wouldn't go there if it wasn't part of the required curriculum, you see, for our growth and development. And in retrospect, we look at it and we say, yeah, that was awful, or that was the hardest thing, or that was the worst thing, or whatever the case might be. And then we look back and we see that somehow it wasn't the end. It was just another chapter. I say that about people in memorial services frequently. It's not the end. It's just the next chapter. Because that which we are cannot end. But in this world, it seems like endings are happening all the time in every direction. And I don't really want to talk about what happened this week in Uvalde. I don't really want to talk about what happened in Buffalo last week or the week before. I don't really want to ask us to enter into the fullness of the teaching of all that. But I know for myself that each of these things creates a disruption in my consciousness, in my being, in my awareness. A kind of disruption that brings me up against my faith, up against my trust, up against my comprehension of how life can continue to be so cataclysmic now. Was it always? And then you go back to, well, there was that war, and then there was this thing, and then there was that thing, and then there's always been something. And I don't care about that. I care about today. I care about kindness. I care about compassion. I've spent almost 45, 46, 47 years studying these ideas because I believe in kindness and compassion, and because I believe that there is a goodness as the mainstream of life that is present even in the midst of cataclysms and upside down experiences. We're hearing today that there's an Amber Alert in the Yakima area, and I know that means there's a child who is in a difficult situation. That's all I'm going to say. And I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my body. I have an incredible depth of compassion for these experiences, and I know on another level that there is this something that I have said for so many years and that I hold still, even in the most difficult times, to be true. There is goodness in awfulness, and there is growth and transformation in the midst of all these cataclysmic moments, and I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know what the cost is, and I don't know where the justice is, and I don't know this, and I don't know that, and I don't know all those things, but there's a reason I come here and stand here on Sunday mornings to renew my own faith in your presence, to renew my own grounding and centering in your presence. You hold me accountable to what I believe so that I don't wander away and not have a tether that's drawing me back into a reality that's larger than a moment in time. Because you are here, it is that illumination in my own mind and heart of these ideas that I've been living with for so long that I could take them for granted, or I could shove them aside in the face of this or that. Will I go deeper yet again? I'm on vacation. I say to my friend, I'm very interior these days. I thought, what does that mean? It means I'm trying to find my center. I'm trying to abide in my center more deeply so that I'm not spun out in a way that keeps me completely imbalanced and in chaos. And so thank God for our Tuesday class, because we read a book that keeps us grounded and centered in these ideas. Reading for this morning, something that grounds me in the awareness of compassion so that I can stretch again away from judgments, away from reactivity, not blind to them, but deepening so that doesn't spin me out. It doesn't mean I can avoid it. It doesn't mean I don't look at it. It doesn't mean I'm not present to it. But I can't be present to it and make any headway for myself in my own growth and development, or for you, if I become so spun out that I can't find my ground of being. And so I take the responsibility of this very seriously. If I'm a nutcase, well, I was with you a little while ago, but that's a different kind of nutcase. And I don't mean nutcase in a negative way. I mean so confused here that I can't be present with compassion and awareness of what's deeper and real. And I feel the impact of what's happening. I feel it deeply. I feel it cellularly. Why? Because those children are part of my body, because those families are part of my heart and my mind, because those people in the grocery store are part of my body and being, part of the central axis of who we are in oneness. And yet, who will hold a light in the midst of that? And I don't say that in the way that one of my instructors once said to me when this was her pronouncement at everything. Pronounce it good. Just want to hit her. Pronounce it good, like we were brainless idiots, and we were a little like that. But the idea of pronounce it good, just slather another layer of frosting on top of that cake. No, not that. How do we live with the challenge of being both present with compassionate hearts and empathy, and at the same time to be present, and at the same time to have center, to hold center, to be in the heart of a deeper practice that says, as somebody said, life is a mystery. Who said that this morning? Came out of somebody's mouth. The word said it. Oh, it was the song. Feels like so long ago, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a mystery. You're going to walk this walk. It's a mystery. The spiritual life is a mystery. And the ready, set, get, go idea of how we practice sometimes dismisses the work that's wanting to happen in us, that's making us real. down in the deep places where we're becoming more transparent to Spirit in the midst of what's going on around us and within us, and not with all the kind of stuff. By stuff, I mean stuff. Words I'm not supposed to use on Sunday mornings. Matters. Bobby knows what that word is. I don't know. I don't know. There are seemingly no answers. Why? Because Spirit is telling us that we can't reproduce the past. Things are not as they have been, and we cannot reproduce the past. So we want to go back to a time when things were more safe or more figure-outable or more simple or whatever the heck it was. And then we discover we're not living back there. We're living here now in this time. And what will we bring from our deep spiritual reservoir to these moments in a way that allows us not just to tell other people how to be. You know, you just shouldn't be that way. So I heard somebody the other, you just shouldn't be that way. That's a little like pronounce it good, isn't it? And pronounce it good means go deep and then say, of course there's learning in this, of course. But it doesn't change the experience itself. But if I dwell too long in the experience, what I do is shut off the reservoir of renewal through the heart of compassion. This thing about being made real, we want to awaken to our Christhood. See the quotes around that? Yeah, I'm here to awaken to my Christhood. Like, that's why I'm here. It's my purpose on earth to awaken to my Christhood. Well, it's another toy we play with about I'll be better someday when I reach another pinnacle of my divine development, rather than in the place I stand right now, I am fully empowered with every tool there is in the toolbox of possibility and opportunity to meet life from a different point of view, from a place of universal compassion and everyday practice. Universal compassion, divine love, our home, our nest, our livingness. Yeah, I wish things were the way they were when I believed they were simple. It wasn't simple. Most of us were living in our own hell, whatever that was. The good times, we say. Get it back the way it needs to be, they say. And then everything will be fine. No, we've changed. We've moved beyond. I heard a broadcaster say this week, not only is bitterness becoming the norm, people are proud of it. Proud of their bitterness, proud of their anger, proud of their hatred and their rage. And I thought, well, not for me, but then it calls me back into where do I shut the door on compassion? Where do I draw the line about judgment? Where am I broadcasting out of my own confusion thoughts and ideas that are not for the benefit of any, including me? No, we're not going backward. We can't. It's impossible for the earth to go back. if we've noticed the speed at which we're spinning in this universal energetic field doesn't seem to allow us to go back to a point that we lived before. We've come too far now, and in that coming far now, we're equipped with the ways and the means to shift our ideas and to see from a different perspective and to live in the idea of something greater than what we see in the world necessitates that even as these experiences come, there is still something greater even than that. And it's at work in me through universal compassion, through everyday action, through the ways in which I shift my understanding these practical principles that Charles Fillmore and Myrtle Fillmore brought to the world. They believed would transform the way we see life from the inside out. And that's where unity started, upon principles that transform us into the realization that we are indeed the hands and the feet and the activity of spirit. Not because we pretend to be, but because we meet hard things from a deep and meaningful, the word meaningful is not the one I want, and I don't mean higher place. We meet circumstances that are so difficult to witness, but we do so from a place in us that is somehow able to see from another dimensional reality. We've been given the gift of that as we change our minds, as we move forward in consciousness, the ability to witness from another dimensional reality and exercise the capacity to practice even as we are holding compassion in the fullness of our overflowing hearts. And that universal compassion, that divine love that's beyond anyone or anything. But the work goes, we get better at this. We get more real as our hair is falling out and our eyes are dropping out and our skin's peeling off and we're walking around trying to figure out how to get out of the chair. If we sit down, who will get us out or up? I don't know. I've been doing this too long to have easy answers. And yet, it comes back to the very simplest things when we're working with spiritual ideas. Can I love today? Can I hold you in my heart today? Can I acknowledge and witness the depth of what you're going through and know that you are that which God has created for this very moment in time? Why? I don't know. For what? I don't know. To become real? To have your whiskers fall out? Your handle get worn off? There is no denying, said His Holiness the Dalai Lama, that our happiness is inextricably bound up with the happiness of others. There's no denying that if society suffers, we ourselves suffer. Nor is there any denying that the more our hearts and minds are afflicted with ill will, the more miserable we become. Thus, we can reject everything else, religion, ideology, all received wisdom, but we cannot escape the necessity of love and compassion from His holiness. So, what will we do with what's before us? But the deeper question is, what will we do with what's within us? Yeah. I love you. And it's almost time to eat. So I'm going to bless the food from here. What do you think, Jerry? Someone thought of you today. Someone prayed with you today through action. They prepared something for you to eat that would nourish your body and nourish your mind and nourish your spirit and create that true feeling of community. Where there is shared food, there is true togetherness. And Jesus said, where two or more of us are gathered, here am I in the midst. And so we know the great power of blessing is in you, is in the food you receive, in the one who has prepared and brought this food to be a blessing for each of us. For all of us and the opportunity to be together, and for the kitchen crew that's doing great work, we give thanks. And we give thanks for each of you and the way in which you give and give and give to bless this ministry. For all the ways you give, we say, you are blessed and in the perpetual flow of all good. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. In blessing, then, we say together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God fills us. The power of God. That's good. There you go. And all is well. And you say, after all these years, are you ever going to learn that prayer, Linda? And I say 9 out of 10 times, I get it. But today, not so much. But I love you online. I love you in these seats. I love you who are not here on this day with the everlasting love. Thank you for being here today. And as soon as we're done and you sing the peace song, please put your mask on for the peace song. And better if you do it in your aisles. Then you can push the chairs back, and the activity, you're going that way with the chairs to create room for the tables to go up. And know that you are always in our prayers. Have a great week and a wonderful feast.